It's late March of 2026, and this is going to be the last video that I'm going to do on this transmission series that I've been working on this past month. I do get quite a number of questions, emails, and YouTube comments. Hey, I'm thinking about redoing my transmission. What do you recommend? What do you recommend I replace? What do you recommend I buy? Now, I don't offer complete kits for rebuilding these transmissions, but I do offer tools and some specialty parts that you see here on the bench, and I'll explain them in this video. Of course, I offer a very nice pressure tester so you can do a pressure test on your 722.3 or 722.4 if you're having weird shifting issues and so on. Eliminate that pressure issue first. And I'm finding one of the big problems with those nylon sealing rings in the middle of the K1 and K2 and up here with the K3, those sealing rings, if they fail, you're losing a lot of pressure out of there, as I demonstrated in that live video of transmission operation on the bench over here. The tool kit I offer will eliminate a lot of stress and save you a bunch of time. I know you can jerry-rig all kinds of things to do some of the jobs that are required, but I just want to show you this is the kit. I sell this as a complete unit. I also sell some of these tools separately, but I'm going to briefly just go over each one and show you what their purpose is. I'm going to give you one tip. It's not a special tool, it's just a unique combination of tools. When you remove these from your car, one of the hardest things is to get to these top bolts on the bell housing. If you think you can go up in here with some sort of a wrench, you're kidding yourself. So I just want to share with you this tip right here. Here's what you're going to need. This is the #1 special tool that you're going to need to remove these transmissions from the car, and it's an extremely long extension with a wobble in a 17mm short socket, not a deep socket. So you're looking at 3 feet, because what this allows you to do is come back here. You're actually removing the flex disc here, and you can come right up through here and you can get on these bolts just like that with the wobble extension and get those bolts out. That's the key tool for transmission removal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the special tools that I have, and the number of these I create here in my shop, and we're going to remove the key things that require special tools. And so enter the first special tool. I call it a special tool because I don't believe most people have a deep 30mm socket in their toolkit, 1/2-inch drive. You may have a shallow one, but the problem is this shaft goes in here and hits, so you can't even get this on. Some of you may have an impact toolkit, but all the impact sockets are 6-sided for added strength. And you cannot use a 6-sided socket here. Here's a caution. Before you apply the impact here, you want to make sure the transmission is in park and locked up. Look at that. Okay. Okay, there it comes. Just like that. Now, it's almost impossible to do this with a breaker bar and a wrench because you have no way to really secure the transmission. The next component we will remove is the B2 piston assembly. But this isn't under a lot of tension. You can push it in by hand like that, and you can hear it move, kind of squeak. So there's one tool that I recommend you make to get these rings out. There's 3 or 4 of them throughout the transmission, and look what I've done here. I've taken this little screwdriver and I've kind of bent the tip, put a little bit of a curve on the tip, but notice how I've sharpened it. And that's going to allow me to get in on that snap ring and pop it out. So I will push in like that. I'm going to get this edge started first. Okay. And then we just roll the screwdriver around like that. Push the other side in, and out comes the snap ring. There's a hole right here, and I found if you just get a punch and just rotate this, it'll come out. Sometimes it's kind of sticky. Okay, there's your cover. Here is the B2 piston and the pin. You don't want to lose this pin or forget its location, okay? Now we're relieving fear here because we're showing you what needs to be done. Now, this is where you're going to need a special tool. The upgraded B2 piston recommends putting a nylon sleeve in the place of this aluminum sleeve. You also need to replace this seal in here, and they come out together. This is a slide hammer puller that I have modified in my shop here. People have taken the pan off and gone in behind and tried to get some way to get on the backside and pull this out. You're welcome to it, but the slide hammer is the way to go. Here you can see I had to make a couple of modifications to this small slide hammer. One was on these teeth here that go in and grab a hold of the backside of that aluminum bushing. I wanted to make sure it was not going to score on the housing here. The other thing is I had to add this special nut on the end. Otherwise, when I screwed this in, it would not spread enough. Once I'm sure that I've spread the jaws enough and that I'm on the edges of the bushing, I'll just take the slide hammer and hit it a few times. I think you can see it takes a little force to get these out. Everything's held in by the seal. That's what's hard to get out. Here you can see the aluminum bushing. When you install the new bushing and the new seal, you'll just use either a large socket or a seal installing tool. I believe that removing this B1 cover and piston really does require a special tool. I've got a kick out of some of these YouTube videos, people trying to get this out. Once they get the clip free, this flies across the shop, and other people struggling to get it back in. It's not so much getting it out, but getting it back in. You have two big springs in there that are about this long, and they have to be compressed all the way in order to replace this snap ring. So I developed this special tool here in my shop. It's about half the price of the factory tool, but it does the same job. As with the factory tool, we will use this threaded hole to give us support to press in this cover here. And this long bolt should be turned in at least ½ an inch. You want to make sure you get it in there or you can damage the threads. We're going to line this up and turn this in so that this presses evenly in the center of that cover. And this is where I like to use a ratchet, electric ratchet. Okay, we'll get it lined up like that. Okay, I'm going to run this in. Okay, now you can see we have exposed that snap ring. That comes out. And this is where having an electric ratchet really comes in handy. Watch how far this comes out. And at that point, you can swing the tool out of the way and remove the B1. Now, when you go to reinstall it, this is where this tool really does its number. You put this in, swing this over, and you want to start by hand. And the reason for that is you want to make sure it gets centered in that hole. And then we'll use this tool to roll this in. Start out carefully. Make sure you get it lined up as it comes in here. There we go. Run it down in there. And just reinstall the ring. And then take your ratchet and reverse it out. Now see how easy that is? Just having this tool could save you an hour of frustration. There's one other place here you may need help. I provide an attachment with a slide hammer to go in and pull this front pump out. When you take all these bolts out, sometimes the pump is just stuck in the transmission case. You can sit here and try to wiggle it and pry it. Mercedes has provided 2 threaded holes in the pump housing to help you pull this out. Now, if you put these 2 bolts in, I'm not going to do this in this video because I'm not ready to remove the pump, but I'll show you this so you can understand. you put a bolt in here and you put a bolt in here, and sometimes you can grab it and wiggle it and get it out. But if that doesn't work, this has been modified so this will get right in on this bolt, and you can use this slide hammer to free the front pump assembly from the transmission case. There's another special tool I recommend. This snap ring right here is almost impossible to get off. It is so strong. Now remember, this is the rear of the transmission. This is the rear case. Once you remove the rear case, you will have to get in and get this ring off before you can pull the center core out of the transmission case. First try, you'll get in there with some sort of little pick tool, and you'll pry, and even if you're able to pry it out of the groove, it's so tight, once you get to these splines, it's really hard to get off. So after messing around with this for about 30 minutes, I said, I'm going to make a tool that can get in there because it's down in there. And this is the tool. I had to grind the tips a little bit narrower so that it would get into the cutout in the ring. And then I took a little Dremel cutoff tool and put an X down there. If you don't do this, this ring can go flying across the shop. So watch as I do this. I reach in, get this lined up, and just spread this out and take it off like that. Look at that. And because of these little notches I put in there, it's not going to fly all over the place. Then when you go to put the transmission back together, you can see, look at how much work it is to even try to get it up over the splines. But using this tool, you can just line these sharp little tips with the cut there, and then I will spread this out and just slide it on and release it. This alone can save you 30 minutes of work. There's one other special tool I highly recommend, especially if you're completely overhauling the transmission. When you get into working on these K1 and K2 drum assemblies, you can remove the clutch packs easily with just removing this ring here. It doesn't require any special tool to snap this ring off, and you can get in here, clean the plates, replace the clutches, inspect them. But there are some critical seals down in the pistons on the K1 and K2, and the only way to get to those is you have to compress all these springs. There's a little C-clip in there, and you're going to have to compress this, and you can't push this down by hand, let me tell you. Maybe you can get a friend with a couple of 2x4s. I saw one guy use a big clamp, and he had a bunch of stuff trying to press this down. It was sliding around. For the price, I think this is worth it. If you want to replace the seals down inside the K1 and K2, this is the easiest way to do it. This is actually a simple and very clever and inexpensive little press tool. This can be used for other transmissions as well. And once you have it adjusted, watch as I crank this down and compress all these springs like this. And once it's compressed, I can remove the snap ring, which I've already done, and then you just crank this back up, and then you can just take these off, and look at that. Now you can remove this. Look at all those springs. We've got to pull all that off and get down in there to replace a couple critical seals. Now I realize that for most of you, these are one-time use tools. Granted, you can use this special little screwdriver. The slide hammer is going to be handy in the future. Even maybe these pliers. They're not true snap ring pliers. They're more like circlip pliers. But consider this. Consider the time you're going to save. Consider the enjoyment that you're going to have using these as opposed to trying to jerry-rig something that can work. And granted, there are other things that can work. That kind of covers the special tools you're going to need to work on these transmissions. That was an overview of these tools that I offer on my website to help you with the disassembly and overhaul of your transmission. You can purchase these separately or purchase them as an entire kit, although I do not include this 30mm deep 12-point socket because some of you may already have that. Now I'll take you over on the other side of the bench, and we're going to talk about some of the parts that I offer. I thought I'd begin by talking about this B2 piston assembly. You know, I've been touting this the last 6 months as something that you should change. It's very important. I'm not going to get into all the details of why it is, but I do need to report this is NLA. Mercedes has told me they're no longer going to be making this part. In fact, this may be one of the last ones available anywhere because we can no longer sell the piston on our website. You may be able to find one on eBay or some remote source or some dealer that has one in old stock. The important thing is that you do not have the early style with this single sealing ring on it. This is the one that caused all the problems. So if you have a later one like this that's not badly scored here, you can change this Teflon ring. See that? You can change that. So in the future, at least, for the next few months or whenever these are available, the kit's going to include this nylon bushing, which is really important because the nylon bushing keeps this B2 piston moving in and out without binding. So you can replace that. You can replace this. Then, if you have an old B2 that is in good shape other than this outside ring, I did locate a source of these, and I will be including these in the kit with instructions on how to get the old one off and this new one back on. So if you have one of these newer style B2 pistons and it's not damaged or badly scored, this is a good solution. You don't really need to change the entire piston. Now I should point out that the 722.4 B2 piston is smaller in diameter, and I have no separate source for these rings, but they are included in the L-ring kits that we sell on my website. Notice here, this is a 722.4 complete gasket and seal kit. Look at the difference in diameter. You can see the ring in here is smaller in diameter on the 722.4 than it is on the 722.3. And the same here, you can see, you can't see it very well, but down in here in the 722.3 gasket kit, you also receive this ring here. So you do not need to order this separately. And I offer a very special seal kit for the K1 and K2 drum. These have been very popular because you can get down in there, these bottom plates, drill them out, and replace these two O-rings, which I call the hidden O-rings. That kit includes, the hardware, the screws. The seals are a little bit smaller than the 722.4, but everything else is the same. And then finally, I'm working even this week on some kits for the valve body. This is a performance upgrade kit. I've got some factory kits for improvements on the valve body. I'm not sure how far I will go on valve body overhaul. There's lots of information on the internet about that. Don't be afraid to clean out that valve body, okay? Just don't be afraid. It's not complicated, but you have to work with care to make sure you get all the parts out and laid out and cleaned and back together in the right order. Now, this is probably not everything, and there'll be new things coming out later on this year in 2026. So just check out my website. Go to my website, Mercedessource.com, and just put 722.3 or 722.4 or both of them in the search box, and it'll take you to everything I've shown you here, plus other things I'll be adding in the future.